The job wasn't decided in your interview, it was decided 12 hours later, in an email you probably didn't send. Here's the part nobody tells you. When two candidates are close, hiring managers rarely reread their interview notes. They go with the person who's still in their head. And the thing that keeps you in their head is the follow-up. Most people treat the thank you email like a thank you card. Polite. Forgettable. Thanks for your time, I really enjoyed our conversation. That email does nothing. It's noise. But the right follow-up is something completely different. It's not a courtesy. It's a second interview, one where you control every word, and nobody can interrupt you. Think about that. In the live interview, you were nervous. You blanked on a question. You gave a half answer and thought of the perfect response in the parking lot. The follow-up email is your chance to give that answer. And about 90% of candidates throw that chance away, either by sending nothing, or by sending a generic line that says nothing at all. So let me show you the structure that turns a thank you note into a closing tool. 3 parts. Each one does a specific job. Miss one and the whole thing collapses back into noise. Part 1, the specific callback. Not, thanks for your time, that's what everyone writes. Instead, reference one real moment from the conversation. Something only the two of you talked about. For example, I keep thinking about what you said about your team rebuilding the onboarding flow from scratch. That single sentence proves you listened, you were present, and you actually care about their problem. This matters because of something psychologists call the recency effect. The last interaction colors the whole memory. A specific callback re-anchors their impression of you to your strongest moment, not your weakest. Part 2, the resolved doubt. This is the move that separates pros from everyone else. Every interviewer leaves with a quiet question mark about you. Your job is to find it and erase it. Maybe they asked about a skill you've used less. Maybe you fumbled a technical question. Maybe you sensed hesitation when they asked why you're leaving your current job. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Address it head-on. When you asked about my experience leading cross-functional projects, I think I undersold it. Last year I coordinated 3 teams across 2 time zones to ship on deadline. You just did something powerful. You showed self-awareness, you closed a gap that would have sat in their mind for days, and you gave them a concrete reason to stop worrying. That doubt was going to cost you the offer. Now it can't. Here's the key, keep it to one doubt. Don't list every weakness. You're not confessing, you're correcting the single thing most likely to hold them back. Part 3, the forward fit. This is where you stop talking about the interview and start acting like you already work there. Subtle, but it changes everything. Mention something specific you'd want to dig into in the role. I'd love to look at how your support tickets are tagged. I think there's a faster way to route them. You're not asking for the job. You're already solving the job. This triggers what's called the assumptive close. When you behave as if the outcome is already decided, you quietly invite the other person to assume it too. You're painting a picture of you on their team, and that picture is hard to unsee. So that's the structure. Specific callback, resolved doubt, forward fit. 3 short paragraphs. Under 200 words. It should take you 15 minutes to write and it can move the entire decision. Now let's talk timing, because this is where people quietly sabotage themselves. Don't send it the second you walk out the door. That looks automated, like a template you fired off without thinking. And don't wait 3 days, because by then the decision is forming and you've already faded. The sweet spot is a few hours later, the same day, ideally that evening. Long enough to feel considered, soon enough to still be top of mind. If you interviewed with multiple people, send a separate, slightly different email to each. Not copy-paste. Hiring teams compare notes, and identical emails are obvious, and worse, insulting to the people reading them. One more layer most people miss entirely. The follow-up isn't just for the candidate they liked. It's how borderline candidates flip to yes. Hiring managers tell each other this constantly, I wasn't sure, but their follow-up really impressed me. That sentence has decided more offers than almost any interview answer. Because by the time the email lands, the pressure of the live interview is gone, and your thoughtfulness reads as exactly the kind of person they want around. Let me give you the failure mode to avoid. Don't make it about you. I really need this job, it would mean so much to me. That's a plea. It shifts the burden to them and makes you smaller. Every line should be about their problem and your fit. And skip the flattery overload. Your company is amazing and you're the best team I've ever met reads as desperate. Confidence is specific and calm. Desperation is loud and vague. So here's your takeaway. The interview is where you make your case. The follow-up is where you close it. One is loud and stressful and out of your control. The other is quiet, written, and completely yours. Next time you walk out of an interview, don't just hope. That evening, open a blank email and write 3 short paragraphs: the callback, the doubt, the fit. That's the email that's still working for you long after everyone else has gone quiet.